This is what a salary of $1.5 million looks like after taxes in California. Gross annual income, $1.5 million. Federal income tax, $513,164. State income tax, $184,557. Social Security, $9,114. Medicare, $33,450. State disability insurance, $1,602. Total taxes paid, $741,886. Net income, $758,114. In total, if you make $1.5 million in California, 49.5% will go towards taxes.
You're now listening to the smooth sounds of life after debt. I'm your host, the Marcus Garrett. Let's get started with this week's episode. And this is The Drop. Get the tools, education, and support you need to grow your tax and accounting business to multiple six figures and beyond with Shonta Thomas. Shonta is an EA and former corporate accountant, and EA is the highest credential the IRS awards. The IRS says they are uncontested experts on such topics. Welcome to the show. So I wanted to call this section of the subsection or subsegment, Let's Talk Taxes. You have a Mothers in Tax program. Can you tell the listening audience a little bit about that?
Yes. So the Mothers in Tax program is a program that really focuses on none other than mothers in tax. And the reason why I called it that is because accounting and tax is one of those industries that's difficult to grow in. It requires a lot of hours, or that's what most people think. It takes a lot of hours, and it's very hard to kind of get your foot in the door and start to really grow your business. What I wanted moms to be able to do is focus on higher value services. So higher value services are things like tax planning, which is specifically what I do. For those who don't know what tax planning is, that is having the ability to be able to help your clients save a lot of money in your taxes. So not because they have tax issues, but just because you're helping them save money, just helping them reduce their taxes through tax loopholes and things like that, right? We've heard of things like writing off your home office or writing off your business vehicle, a vehicle that you use for business purposes. And so by doing those types of things, that is considered like a luxury service. It's not a service that people have to have. You can help them save money, but it's also more valuable to the professional. And so by focusing on higher value service offerings, it allows women, moms, to be able to reduce their hours in the office and be able to spend more time where it matters most, at home, but also be able to make a good living. And so it really focuses on helping moms. I have a lot of people who are not moms as well. Excuse me. I have a lot of people who aren't moms as well, but a lot of them are moms, and it really helps them find that balance that they aren't otherwise able to find, whether in corporate America or in their own businesses, before we start working together. So I love Mothers in Tax. I love helping moms be able to navigate this industry, be able to start tax planning, and being able to work more while being able to make more while they work less.
I guess two-part question. I'll ask the simplest first. Why moms? Why work with moms?
Yeah, so that's a great question. I get this question all of the time. I really focus on moms because I am a mom. So when I first got into this industry, I had my third child. I was doing very well in corporate America in terms of moving up the ladder and those types of things. But I really wasn't happy. And one of the things that I noticed was one day someone asked me something about one of my kids, and I couldn't answer the question. My mom or my sister answered it for me. And that was the first time I really realized I didn't know my kids. I was there every day, but I was working. And then when I came home from work, I was getting right back on my computer. Sometimes that was to midnight. A lot of times it was to midnight. So I was doing well at work, but I really wasn't doing well in the home. And so I decided to leave that job to be at home full time, which is great. A lot of moms, a lot of women want to be at home full time. And so I came home full time. The thing we did not really plan for was the financial constraints. So I went from like six figures to now, like, no income from my side, just my husband's salary. And so that was financially difficult for a family of 5 in the state of New Jersey. He was a teacher and a coach, so he was making good money, but between taxes and everything else, it just really didn't stretch far enough. And so I knew at that time I needed to go back into working of some type so I could help financially provide for my family. But I also knew I didn't want to go back into corporate and work that amount of hours again. And so I said, well, I can work for myself. And the first thing I found working for myself, like I had this dream of like, I'm going to work for myself and I'm going to be going on trips and spending this time with my family, but I'm going to be making this money. For most people, they find that is like not reality, right? And so I started working and I was like, whoa, I'm working more hours than I did in corporate America, but I'm making less. Right? You got to go find your own clients. You have to understand every part of your business, marketing. You have to understand how to do your own books. You have to understand how to grow your own company. You have to learn every aspect of your business. And so I was spending all of this time in my business, not really making any money. And I realized, well, something's got to change. And so what I realized was I was offering transactional services. So transactional services are services that you are exchanging time for money. And so that's what I was doing. I was doing things like bookkeeping or tax prep, where I'm not making a lot of money per client, but I'm doing so much, time on each case. And so once I started kind of transitioning into tax planning, I started making more and working less. And so I knew there were other moms dealing with the same exact thing. I talked to so many moms who have been dealing with the same thing. And so as I started showing them, one of the first things that you're doing is you're giving away these tax planning services and some of the other services for free because you're not parceling them out the way you should be. You're not charging what you should be. And so by just literally making those adjustments, people started to see that they were hitting $10,000 and $20,000 a month in services. Some of them not even doing anything differently, just adjusting their prices in the way that they should. And they were able to work less hours in their business, but they were able to make more. And so then I knew, okay, I have something here because so many moms are dealing with this. And so that's when Mothers in Tax was born.